Evening, folks. I haven't broken the game for a while, so let's fix that. This is Albania for busy people. If you're not already aware, Albania has a little achievement where, starting as good old Skanderberg, you have to take over this region and Iberia. And it's not easy, mostly because this horrible initial war with the Ottomans. So my goal today is to win the war with the Ottomans. And I don't mean white peacing or conceding defeat or giving them Albania and running away. I must win the Ottomans, preferably take some land or punch something out of them. Yeah, win that war. And from there, springboard to take the regions that I need to get the Albania or Iberia achievement. Which probably won't get done today because it's already, it's almost midnight. Who would have thought time would be such a constraint these days? But I should be doing plenty of streaming over the weekend, so I should be able to plow through this Albania achievement very quickly and maybe even get some more Europa done. I want to play City Skylines too. But I digress, there is Albania to be played. So if we want the achievement, we have to play in Iron Man mode, and maybe not quite baller enough to be setting myself on hard mode. That'd be quite funny, but no thanks. Custom nations I'll have to say no to, because although you can play Iron Man with custom nations on, the achievements file has this little bit that says if you have custom nations you don't get the achievements. So it's quite nice that you can play with Iron Man, but it's more of a copper mode. It doesn't give you achievements. So what is there really to say about Albania? Well, nothing that I want to say over the intro music, so let's jump into it. Jake, are you going to do the Three Georges achievement too in this run? I don't know about that one. I might just load up an old save where I've done really well and do that, because it doesn't seem like a particularly interesting one to get. Why local? You know what, I never play local, let's go for it. It's not like I play this on my laptop anymore. Albany. For busy people. Alright, so this probably won't be as fluid as it normally is because I haven't been streaming for a while and it's all a bit blah. But I'm very happy to see that viewership has plunged. Thank you people who have decided not to watch this. Makes everything that much more manageable. Jake making weekend streams, what does the world come to? Well, in my new job, I actually get weekends off. Also, I've heard enough of this song already. We can go to audio and go off and on to trigger a new song. There's a nice little trick if you actually want a new song. But if you're playing in Iron Man mode, the next song console command does not work. So, we are Albania, we start off with 3,000 men and we're at war with the Ottomans. The Ottomans will annex you and they outnumber you, 9 to 1. And they can recruit a lot more units. Also, you have a cog. So you're not going to be winning any naval battles here. Or are you? No, you are not. You have one cog, don't be silly. But what you do have is Skanderberg's enormous brass bollocks, which we can use to pull something out of here. So, GDR Chick opening with the fastest music exploit ever. Not even sure that goes down as an exploit. Jake, tell us, in the office multiplayer, have you been playing Tunis per chance? No, I played Custom Nation of Seton. Can I even talk about that? Probably not. Okay, so what are we gonna do? Traditional ideas are run to Urbino, East Frisia, Bosnia, just run away from the Ottomans, but that isn't an option for us because we have to win the Ottoman war. And even if I stalled out with other land, they'd get taken war score from holding Albania and they would force a peace on me. So let's plunge ourselves right into the Otto scum. Oh, and let's burn our home to the ground. I don't really know if what I'm about to do will work, but it would be really nice if it did. Not even sure if there's any folks that I'd put on here. That's right, I just generally don't know anything. you just collect from trade instead? It might make you slightly better. Now we have free merchants, so we'll have you doing that as well. Because money is going to be really handy, especially since the looting laws have changed. So, what are we going to do? What the hell are we going to do? Austria isn't exactly keen on allying us. So let's try our best to change that. We'll improve relations with them. We'll just keep them on the back burner. So let's plough our way through the Ottomans. Let's take it nice and slow as well. Oh, wow. Didn't know you did that. And that's not so good. And that's not so good. So straight away the Ottomans want us dead, but that's alright. Skanderberg is a very fast man. He's no Adolf Johann Sandals, but he's pretty good. And wow, they are gunning for us. He wants to meet us in Sofia on the 13th, but we're a slippery customer. We're getting out of there faster. And things are really not looking good. So Hungary, how about some asylum? So I had an original plan that didn't require breaking the game very much, but the Ottomans chasing you through provinces where you have military access was a bit of a deal breaker for that. So I had to turn the exploits up to 11. Okay, so you're going to make your move in Albania, and that doesn't look so good. Jake Kanduf, and no, I can barely even pronounce my local train station, which is Elfge. But then I'm told, no, it's not Elfge, it's Elfge. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Swedish, man, not even once. So, we found ourselves some asylum in Hungary, and we never even had a chance to recruit more units in Albania. Mind you, Serbia has some cavalry. We could potentially defeat them, even though those are woods over there. But this just doesn't look very good for me. Not at all. Jake, Fort Defense Advisor. Oh wow, we do actually have one, although I'm not sure I want to be spending my money on him, since we don't really make any. Our money would just be flowing out of us very quickly. So, I'll be honest, I don't really like how this is going already. Not one bit. So, frankly, I've had enough already. Albania is just not for me. Rip in peace, Skanderberg. Skanderberg held out for 20 years, and I've given up after a month. Solomon the Magnificent just giving me an everything's okay sign. But I'm not particularly satisfied with that, so Albania for busy people. Where did it all go so wrong? Well, I need to defeat the Ottomans in this initial war. So I will. You shouldn't be allowed to do this, but funnily enough, you can. Rip and wrecked, Ottomans. Welcome, food. Your nation objectives shall be delicious. Doesn't really matter what your emblem is. Do you have anything that looks edible? Yeah, fish. Fish is edible. Don't really care who you are, but you are going to be completely pathetic. Now, you might notice I've never once played around with the nation designer. It's because I want to do things like this with it. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make you animist for reasons that'll be a bit more useful later on. Oh, I could make them Jewish, that's right. Pseudonyms. Name them pseudonyms, Jake. Nah, you're alright. Doesn't really matter what your graphics are. We will make you... There aren't graphics for Ottomans? Oh well, Muslim's fine. But your technological group will be North American. A good part of that is to save on the points used. And yeah, your government, you are just going to be a tribal kingdom because it makes your tech more expensive. And you've got the worst ideas going. I don't even like the idea of you having extra morale, so you can have cheaper build costs, so you get me better buildings. Very cheap, very easy. You are the nation of food. I like it. But that's not enough, because I know that there's another country that's really gonna get in my way, and that is the Venetians. So let's just eradicate them straight up. It doesn't really matter what you are either. But just to spice things up, we'll keep you as an animist as well. I like it. Now, when you do this, it defaults to the nation that you just created, but the game thinks, hold on, I'm in Iron Man, so if you click elsewhere, it just goes, yeah, Albania. This is an Iron Man Achievements-enabled Albania game. Let's roll. So, we are still in Iron Man mode. Oh, right, the Mamluks no longer care for us, so goodbye subsidies. Alright, I would quite like to make my way through food as well, though. So, let's get those relations back up. Now, the important thing about this game is that when you set yourself goals... Oh, wow, that's a nice event. This is the yearly Pulse event. Really, you could scum yourself a better one. But I don't mind some higher stability. I lost my train of thought there, but something metrics. So I said I'd defeat the Ottoman in the initial war. I'm still doing the initial war, and they're still the Ottomans. But I'm gonna beat ya. Okay, so incredibly cheap of me to do this. But frankly, I don't know what you were expecting. Jake, I know that Paradox knows about this exploit. Why didn't they patch it out? How do you know that Paradox knows? Are you a man on the inside? Jake, make this custom nation based out of Venezia so they aren't in the HRE. Well, a little bit behind the upkeep there. But I wasn't really interested in superpowering it. The important thing was that I eliminated as much of Venice as possible, because Venice start with a very delicious core on me. Probably should have eradicated them from Crete as well. But hopefully they don't have enough of a navy to project their desires onto me. So what do we have now? We have the Ottomans, who still have this enormous army. It's not quite as enormous as it previously was, but their finances are not looking so good now. Probably. Hopefully. I mean, I scorched the land, but all they need is a lucky breach, and my goose could still be cooked. Jake forgetting his number bet, as always. Ottomans, yeah, they don't have money in the treasury, their income is pathetic, and as is often the case, you can check how many loans someone has by going over to the score comparison screen. Sort it by country, check out Ottomans, and how are we looking, my friends? Yeah. 2.56 from loans. Wow, okay, so they are taking tons of loans every month. Because they have a force limit that's probably 3 times... Sorry, they have an army that's probably about 3 times their force limit. Jake, this has to be the biggest exploit I've ever seen. It's just an Iron Man workaround. I wouldn't call it... I don't think it's as exciting as some that I've done before. But like I said, my goal was to defeat the Ottomans in this opening war, and hey, I've got the positive war score, not them. So I can just kind of chill, because Albania is just a scorched mess of a province. I'm not even sure they know what they're sieging here. They're looking for some kind of settlement, but all they find are charred remains. Reminds me of the time I played Minecraft when AI villages became a thing. So we have the nation of food, which is glorious 1 tech and everything, and pays 350% extra tech costs. 360 if you take into account that they are tribal kingdoms. So they are not going to be having a fun time attacking me anytime soon. They could certainly try, but they will certainly fail. I've got enough relations with them to get the military access I need, and woe is me, the Ottomans got a breach in Albania. If they occupied it, they would still be getting 100% war score and could annex me, and I would look like a right fool. So let's hope that that is not the case. We've got our military access, and the Ottomans will also have military access here, so I should not be so hasty to run so deep into territory, but I do want to have some troops near enough by. Oh, glorious status quo. To add insult to injury, the Ottomans are spending money trying to convert Yanya. Jake, are you worried that Blurple will be able to steal your food? Potentially, but no. Does that make any sense? Probably not. So, what are we going to do? We are going to attack. Now, I'll get there on the 30th, but I don't actually want these men taking the brunt of the forces. So what I'm going to do is sortie, so that the battle begins with my sortied troops on the front line, and Skandenberg's finest take the flanks. Well, for the most part he should take the flanks. He seems to be taking rather a lot of casualties. Did I even flank? Are you a flank? Now, he's going to have military access into food. But that's probably better than him having access to Albania, so let's keep that going. Oh, no need to worry. Have a nice day, Otto scum. Since Skandenberg has 5 in maneuver, we reinforce just as fast in... Wasn't this province called Yanyan? Just moments ago? What is going on? Am I going insane? I swear that province was called Yanyan. Take that cog out and show them what it's made of. Okay, so now Blurple... Thank God, that's just those two duking it out. Now Blurple wants a piece of Otto scum. But now they also have to deal with Tlemcen. Tlemcen may just go along and destroy them. Jack, don't play dumb. Ah, of course. The Ottomans went bankrupt, so they became Greek and Orthodox. Very interesting. I, of all people, should know about those rules. Unfortunately, Albania is still burnt to the ground, so it gives me almost no money. There we go, the Ottomans will renounce their claims in Albania, so we could win the war there, but I rather think the Ottomans should be removed. Heck, maybe I'll make Epirus, since you rarely get to see them. I don't know if they get any special ideas, but it might just be nice to have them back on the map. Yeah, they did the bankruptcy strat to change culture. So, bad news for Blurple, he will not be getting Epirus. But I desperately need a friend, or else things aren't going to look so good for me. Now, Austria is neutral towards me. Can you swing an alliance with them? Is that asking too much? Hungary seem more likely, they have far fewer negatives. But Hungary could get himself into some Austrian troubles that I certainly do not want to be part of. There are Poland as well. Not so lucky to get diplomatic relation advisor. And I'm not really giving Albania's ideas a good look yet. Manpower, fort defense, force limit. Well, liking the manpower straight off the bat. Jake, achievements.txt shows that not number of custom nations equals 1 as a condition for all achievements. You're right in that it's a startup condition and is only checked when you start the game in 1444. When I started the game in 1444, there were no custom custom nations. That's the only time it checked it. Like I said before, very important to keep note of the metrics that are checked. By anyone, really. Right. Skanderberg's, I'm guessing that's his son. What I need to do is get him on the case. I should have done this ages ago. Because he will have siege pip. It was just by chance he did have a siege pip, but I was confident that he would. Where would I be without bugs? Is it any worth getting Serbia to like me a bit more? I think their desire for my provinces might be a bit much. Let's take the Diplo. Thanks, game. Do you have a statesman? No, no statesman. And a bad day to be Novgorod. Jake, did you watch Marco's Ryukyu startup? I did not. I give Marco's achievements a passing glance, but I don't like watching Europa streams, so no. I've had this real itch to play a proper campaign in Europa, and although I'll be able to smoke my way through Albania, it'll be a nice quickie before I move on to something else. As we know, I don't like repeating my bugs, so this will be a one-off just to show what can be done. I have every confidence that this will give me the Albania or Iberia achievement. I'll see if I can just Iron Man my way through the whole thing tomorrow. That will display it quite nicely, I think. Alright, Epirus, it's time to go. I could siege it, and there's a good chance I would take it just from lack of morale because he's bankrupt. However, there is also the chance that all my troops will die, and that would reset the siege. Jake, take the mission to remove Ottomans from the map. I have no such... Form an alliance with food, though. That sounds delicious. Wow, Galkadir's gunning for it. They want to take out Karaman. In fact, good on them. I would rather it was Ramazan, but we can't have everything. In fact, if you're Ramazan, you can't have anything. So, part of the reason I made food animist is that animists can be completely annexed in one shot. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to want to do that, since the new vassal rules will make them rather unpalatable as a subject. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to want that spy offense more than prestige right now, because there are some claims that I'm going to need. My lack of strength makes me appear weak. And their neutral attitude is not helping. The ways to increase my relations with them are few and far between, but that'll cut it. I mostly want an Austrian alliance for the protection. That a boy. Now, the new rule change is that you can't pull people into wars that started. Oh, he wants the alliance. Well, good on you. You want to join in? Yeah, see. You can't pull someone into a war that started before the start of the game. So, if ever there was a tagline for this opening, it is the Ottomans annexed by Albania in an achievement-enabled Iron Man run. I'll let that be my legacy. Man, that was cheap as hell, wasn't it? In fact, if we just pull away from seeing anything about the Ottomans, pretty hard to not get food in the picture here. Maybe there's something I could block them with. There we go. I think that makes it dark enough that you can't see it. Alright. We'll go with that. Alright, that was cheap as hell. It's already really late, so I know this was an embarrassingly short stream of 26 minutes, but I just wanted to annex the Ottomans as Albania. What I'll do is tomorrow I will make a considerably longer stream, and when will I do it? How about... Gee... How about 2 PM? I'll just have a huge amount of streaming tomorrow, because I do want to play a lot of video games. Braskaya is still there, Jake. Yeah. Maybe someone will just think that's an accidental Tyrone. I had to remove Venice because it was too high a risk that Venice would declare war on me for their core in Albania. Unless they'd gotten roped into some horrible HRE wars, they would have very likely gone for me. Alright, I'm going to wrap it up there. It is 5:30, time for bed. Cheers everyone for witnessing the Albanian annexation of the Ottomans as it should have happened. Remember, Skanderberg held out historically for 20 years before his defeat. Real mark of a man to be celebrated even in defeat. Whereas it took me 4 years to annex the Turk. Well, it wasn't even Turkish in the end, he was an Orthodox Greek. RIP Ottomans and RIP stream. Thank you, good night, and much love.